It's people that's counting on me. I cannot eat from the tree. I'm Adam to Z. Z is my Eve. Watch how we getting it. Watch how we flipping it. Watch how we living it. Watch how we winning it. Watch, yeah. Watch, yeah. Watch, yeah. What's up, everybody? My name is Artist Henson, and we are here for another episode of the Forever Love podcast. Again, my name is Artist Henson, and I know y'all are used to seeing my beautiful queen beside me, but she is not here for this episode only because we're going to have some man talk. And so, listen, we are excited for this episode. This episode is called Women Can't Handle It. And listen, I got a special guest on right now. You might know him as Christopher. You might know him as Mr. Henson. You might know him as Coach Chris. But this is my brother. I love him. Listen, from all across the country, even though we're on separate parts of the world, we stay in contact. I want to introduce to you all Chris Henson. How you doing, Chris? Welcome in.
And what's up, everybody? What it do? It's your good brother, Coach Chris. And yes, big bro, man, thank you so much, man, for having me on. Fire intro, bro. I was up here bobbing my head to it. I said, okay, they got it going on, man. Uh, but yeah, man, Coach Chris, man, excited to be here, bro. This is beautiful, man. Thank you for having me on.
Man, I'm excited about this. Listen, we're going to just jump right into it. We're going to get into our part one. Listen, how you doing today, man? How was everything? Everything good
Uh,
with you? How are you
bro,
mentally? How are you emotionally, spiritually? Whatever you want to divulge. We want to do our check-ins because mental health is important, emotional health is important, spiritual health is important, physical health is important, and we always want to do our check-ins with our guests before we get started. So, how you doing, man?
Bro, I appreciate you for asking me that because I am an advocate for mental health, all of that good stuff. So I enjoy check-ins in general, whether it's men, women, women, men. But when the brotherhood asks, like, yo, check in, how you doing, bro? That's something special, especially between black men. Bruh, I feel great, man. I'm good. I'm real good, man. No complaints. I could complain, but it really wouldn't do any good. Spiritually, man, I'm on a high right now, bro. God is phenomenal. I posted something early on my Facebook page, and God been dealing with me when it comes to forgiveness and like letting stuff go, anger, resentment, frustration, and all of that stuff like that, man. And just the weight falling off and just being in that place of freedom. It's a beautiful thing, man. So it's like, come off as a little corny to some people, but bro, I feel fantastic, man. And I'm on a high right now. And I appreciate all day long, bro. When you get rid of the negativity, you get that stuff off your chest, off your shoulders, you feel good in general. You think better, you see better, you walk better, all of that good stuff. So overall, life is cool, man. So when you're working on your spiritual and your mental health, is just by default, life is just in general gonna turn out good, man. So bro, the check-in is I'm on the up and up. I'm a 10 on 10 right now, fam. So I appreciate you, bro.
Man, listen, that is beautiful, man. That is beautiful. Same with me, man. I'm always good. You know my motto. And you know, last week I was a little tired mentally because I was putting in a lot of work with what we got going on with the Relationship and Marriage University. And sometimes you putting in that work and you grinding and you getting stuff ready for the people because your products, you want to help the people. And you be like, man,
Mhm.
I don't feel like doing this. This is like, but at the same time, it's like, man, the people need this. And so by the grace of God, man, you just push through it. Like last Friday, I started working on one of the I don't want to put it out there yet. I started working on one of the products. And it took me some time to do it. And it normally only takes me like an hour, but I had to keep pausing and stopping. I was like, man, I was just tired. But even through the mental fatigue, like, God graces us with the ability to keep going and push through. But that doesn't mean I'm setting a good example because we need to learn how to rest too.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
we need to know how to rest. And I never want anybody to think that just because we're good now and they hear this episode, if you're not good, tell somebody. If you are struggling, tell somebody. Don't be silent. Suffering in silence is not cool. It's not like a flex at all. and appearing to be strong is not a flex, even though we have tried to make it seem like it is, but I'm good, man. I'm excited. Me and my wife is good, man. We got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline this fall, and so we just working, man. We just grinding.
Oh man, I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for it, man. And oh man, everything you said was spot on. As men, we do carry that. It's like, yo, we gonna keep on keeping on until we can't keep on anymore, bro. And it's like we've learned over time. It's like rest is essential. We got to get it at some point, man. And you get that rest, you good after the fact, man. So yeah, 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 yeah. You preaching real good.
Yeah, especially if you're married.
You gotta have it, yo. Facts,
Oh man,
facts.
I'm about to get them going already.
Yeah,
Listen,
bro.
listen. All right, I'm glad we both doing good, man. So we're gonna jump into the question of the day. You ready for this?
Let's get it.
So I'm gonna put it out there, and I'm gonna let you answer it first, and then I'm gonna answer it. So, question of the day. I might actually ask two of them. We'll see how it goes. How do you handle changes in physical attraction with your spouse over time? How does a person handle, not necessarily you, but anybody, how does a person, because the way the question is presented, because these questions can come from an audience member, email, it can
Hmm.
come from past seminars we've done. So I just have a pile of questions that I just, choose from.
I love
So
it.
how does a person handle physical changes? How does a person handle changes in physical attraction over time when it comes to their
Uh,
spouse or significant other?
so this is good, bro. And you had to pause for a minute and like think this thing through, bro. So it's a twofold thing, fam. And it may not fit everybody's, box or, whatever, man. But I feel like when you focus on person's mental, their spiritual, the love, their compassion, other things besides their physical form, that makes them attractive. So you can kind of like look past the physical piece. And then the second part is, bro, if you don't like something physically about your partner, it's cool to go to them and be like, just for sake, just say they gain, 20, 30, 40 pounds or whatever. It's cool to go to them, or hopefully it's cool to go to them. Go to them with love and compassion and be like, hey, I'm concerned about your health. It's because I'm concerned about your health. I got us a gym membership. We're gonna work out together. We're gonna eat better together, things of that nature, fruit, veggies. We're gonna rock out together. I love you, and you ain't on this journey by yourself. So that's what I got. I will respond to it like that. Listen, yeah, we get older, metabolism slows down. We work a lot, like you said. You doing your thing over there, so it's easy to pull up at the Waterburg or the Five Guys or the what's
The
out
in
there,
and
man?
out,
What's the
the in and
yeah,
out.
the In and Out Burger. It's easy to pull up, and before you know it, them pounds they start adding up. So, but you got to develop something beyond the physical form of your partner in your relationship. So look at all the other stuff that they do phenomenal. That's sexy. That's lovely. That's beautiful. That right there gets you through that hump. And then the second part, man, work with them. Like you want them to do better physically, bro. Lead by example at the end of the day. And this is for men and women. Like if you see your husband, it's two dudes up here, but you also talking to the ladies. If you see your husband, gain a few pounds, the love handles and all this other stuff, cook better. Cook healthier. Let me say it like that. Cook healthier. And then
Yeah.
get my man in the gym as well. Go walking with him or whatever the case may be. That makes things so much easier, man. So that'll be better for your spouse, your partner, and also be better for you in the long run.
Yeah. You know what? I agree with everything you said. I'm gonna add this caveat, this little, strawberry on top, you know. Um, I was counseling a couple maybe last week about this, right? And
Yeah.
in counseling this couple last week about it, the funny thing is, let me exit out that. But the funny thing is this, right? Is that when you think about this situation, it's like it's always going to be a difficult conversation when dealing with physical attraction or as the question says, physical changes in attraction when people are defensive, right? Now,
Mm,
defensiveness is a sign of a couple of things. Defensiveness is a sign of either you already know this or you are oblivious to it. Now, whichever side of the spectrum we fall on is it depends on the person. But if somebody right now, when I used to weigh 400 pounds, right? 400 pounds.
put the heart on.
You know, I lost 100 pounds. But when I was big, when somebody used to see me, they don't even know me. What up, big
Yeah,
man? Like, first of all, my name, it ain't big. My
yeah, yeah,
name ain't
yeah.
big, but I understand why they did it. But when I lost weight, I was less offended by the term because I had done something about it. But my point is that the fact that you called me big and I got defensive lets me already know that I'm big and it's a problem.
Hmm.
Because we don't get defensive over something that's not a problem.
True that.
You
Facts.
understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
Especially if we don't believe it's a problem. So I always try to encourage people with this because this is what I told the couple. You got to be willing to be open to the transparency of what your significant other is telling you. Um, but how you handle it is with honesty and with transparency, with no fear of consequences, because that's what gets a lot of people in trouble. They be so afraid of the reactions or the responses or the consequences that they kind of lie or beat around the bush. And so I'm always trying to encourage people just be 100% transparent, no matter how difficult it may be to say it or hear it. You know,
Hmm.
but you got to be honest about it. If you're losing physical attraction, that's a big deal. And to your point, you got to find other things that you love and appreciate while also communicating the fact that, hey, I don't want to lose full attraction to you, but I can't tell you honestly that I'm attracted to you today and I want us to do something about it. And I would hope you would tell me the same thing, you know?
That's real, bro. You said some key that stood out. You said a lot of good stuff. But one of the things that stood out to me is that the spouse, the partner that's not physically attracted to their partner, they do need to say something. You gotta operate in full transparency because if you're not, that's when that resentment start kicking in. And then that's when you start getting on IG and TikTok and start surfing and you seeing somebody that's, you know, I guess quote unquote, what you're looking for, whatever. Then that's when other things start. I mean, you see the domino effect. You feel me? So if you ain't transparent, yeah, I get it. That's your partner, but fam, you got to mess something up that's genuine, that is good and ordained by God. Because you about to go mess up. You about to go mess up. Because now you done scrolled on IG. Now you about to go on some of these booty sites. And now you about to get out here, man, and you about to commit adultery on a whole nother level. So yeah, so the transparency piece, not only does it helps your partner, but it also helps you in your marriage at the end of the day, fam. It
Yeah,
stood out to me. I was like, yo, that was cool right there. The transparency is big, bro.
it is, man. And you know, I'm actually this is gonna be our first time doing this, but I'm gonna ask the
Okay,
second
word.
question of the day, right? Because I think this is something I was thinking about, and we're gonna get into our main topic. Why are so many great people single? Like this is like a phenomenon because I really believe that there are
Good
really
question.
some great men and women out here. Why are they single? I have a
Real good
theory.
question.
I have a theory, but I want to hear your thoughts first.
You want me to answer first,
Oh,
bro?
I,
Oh
I
man,
can I
I
can
would.
I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah, I wanted to hear the theory, fam. What's good with that?
So I have a theory, right? Keep in mind, this is my humble opinion. This is not factual. I'm not trying to be right. I'm not trying to be profound. This is my humble theory that I believe a lot of non-married people who are in a relationship is in a relationship with the wrong people. And if they don't break up, they're not going to get in a relationship with the right people.
Yeah,
Now, notice I said non-married because I don't want nobody saying, "Oh, you're right. I should get a divorce and marry the person I really." No, I'm not telling you to get a
yeah,
divorce. All right, I'm saying non-married people are in relationships with people they should not be with, and the people who should be together are waiting on you to get out of that relationship.
Uh, that's crazy. That's crazy in a good way. Well, yeah, in a good way. But like you said, we ain't telling folks to go get no divorce. But I like the theory because I feel like it is some truth behind that right there. Um, I can't call it. I'm trying to thread that line, that needle just right because I ain't trying to say the wrong thing either. But I can agree with that theory though, fam. Like some people, they get married, they do it too quick, they rush, they don't, what's the word? They don't vet the process correctly. Heck,
Hmm.
they don't even seek God about like, God, is this person supposed to be my mate for the long run, for the to the end of time? They don't do none of that. And they just rush. They see quote unquote some physical attraction, some butt, some breasts, cute face. I'm like, oh, this is my wife. They get with that. And then a year or two later, it's like, dang, this can't be what God got for me. And so, yeah, I can see that theory right there, man. That's true. Um, I had something, but I'm like, bro, that was it right there. I like it, fam. I
Definitely
like it.
share what you got if you want to, though, because I mean, I
I
think
still would.
this is a question that a lot of people ask. It's like, why am I still single when I'm such a good catch? Now we know for some people you might assume you're a good catch,
Facts.
but we
Yeah.
might got to look in
Got a
the
few
mirror a
loose
little bit.
screws.
Yeah, but for there are a lot of genuine people that are really great women and men, and they just seem to can't find each other, you know. And it's crazy. So, what's your thoughts? You say he's gonna share something.
Yeah, I still was gonna share, bro, but I love what you had to say. And I agree. It is, I say it all the time. It's a lot of great men, a lot of great women out here, man. I come across them every day when I'm out in the public. I see these single people. I'm like, bro, you're a good dude. Sister, you're a great sister. You'll make a great wife. Bro, I feel like it's a lot of fear out there. You know, people jump on social media and they hear these horror stories and things of that nature, man, and they stay sheltered in, whether it's physically or emotionally or whatever. They shut themselves off from the world. They see these things, and I'm like, listen, I get it. Yes, that's a small percentage of what's taking place. Um, but every man isn't bad, and every woman isn't bad. And they hear these horror stories of relationships or dudes doing this and women doing that, this, that, and the third. But I'm like, nah, like still put yourself out there. You can't. You're not gonna be able to find a good man if you stand indoors all day. You're not gonna be able to find a good woman if you stand indoors all day and you're overcome by some fear that you've seen on social media, man. For me, I feel like social media has kind of like paralyzed a lot of people when it comes to getting out here and mixing and mingling and doing things of that nature right there, bro. And also, don't get me DMing. Listen, Yo Gotti, he made it famous back in the day. DMing is
It's
is
going
is a
down in the
cool.
DMs.
Yeah, bro, it's going down in the DM. He made it famous, but it was cool back then. But I feel like people have become too comfortable with that as well. And if you catch my drift, I'm like social media is like kind of like crippling the relationship scene a little bit. People got comfortable with the DMing, bro. Social media, comments and things like that, bro. I remember when coming up, bro, my old head, my uncles, they would tell me like, bro, if you want to find you a good woman, you go to the grocery store on a Sunday afternoon, go to the produce section. That's where they gonna be at. They gonna be at the mall or whatever. Yeah, bro. You look in her basket and you see her like, okay, this is a good woman right here. She cooks. She about to cook. She got something about to brew real quick. But nobody
She got
gets.
10 boxes of cereal, and
Yeah, bro. She got some real stuff. Yeah, bro, she about to hook up a real meal, bro. Hot dogs and nothing like that. We ain't microwaving nothing over here. We cooking. Um, but people don't get out, bro. Not like they used to. So that right there, man, just the social media piece, man, is crippling folk too much, bro. That's my
yeah,
theory. I feel like social media has got people mindsets warped. That piece right there. And just to interject this real quick as well, people have come across some wild cats, men and women. And because they done ran into one, two, three, four, five different people that just came across as, shady, corrupt, throw it off in the head, they kind of like they lost their hope in humanity, man. But trust me, man, them two, three people, man, that does not dictate the next 4 or 5 great gentlemen or 4 or 5 great women that's out there, man. So still get out there, put yourself out there, man. You're gonna find your good catch.
Yeah. Stick to your standards, adjust your preferences. That's always my motto, you know.
Facts.
And but listen, great responses, man. Great question of the day. Let's dive into this main topic. We are ready to get rolling. Man, y'all listen. All I got to say is listen at your own discretion. Don't get offended. Listen with open ears. All right. You hear me, ladies? Because I know y'all watching. Listen with open ears. But to be honest, this is just about man talk. So let's get into it. Women can't handle it. Now, I'm gonna give everybody, Chris, I'm gonna give everybody kind of like a
Hmm.
backstory, kind of how this came about. Um, so when I was thinking about the relationship and marriage landscape, right? And the dating world and all of the things going on. And I was kind of exploring the shift in relationships and the dynamics between men and women, right, of the past 4 to 5 years. And so I was like, you know what? Me being born in the 80s, growing up in the 90s, and I'm not saying it began here, but this is the only thing I can reference based on what I've lived through. And I remember growing up through the time where men suffered in silence during the 90s a lot, right? I remember a lot of instances and situations just experiencing life where men, when it comes to relationships and marriage, right? You can even looking back now that I'm older, looking back, I'm like, wow, this I remember that. And I remember seeing like, older men do this. So here's the thing. For decades, since I can remember, 90s, 80s, for decades, men have suffered in silence, often accepting relational conditions as they are, right? They're being in a relationship and they'll just accept the conditions as it is, right? And I want to make sure people can differentiate. We're not talking about men in music videos. We're not talking about single men, having sex with a lot of women. Like we're talking about in the confines of a relationship, in the confines of a man pursuing a woman or dating a woman, right? Or interested in a woman, right? Or in some form of relationship. So for decades, men were silent and they didn't really complain. They didn't really nag. They didn't really express as much as women did, right? To where women would express a lot more and share a lot more and complain a lot more, whatever term people want to use. And so oftentimes men would internalize their pain and men would simply just, let things be, take it on the chin, as they used to say back in the day. And that created a lopsided dynamic, right? And so in that theory, I fast forwarded to today and I'm like, what is the real difference? And then I thought about it. Men are actually saying something now. Like men are actually saying their issues and how they feel. Now, watch this. Again, the past three or four decades, men didn't really complain about women. It's not that zero men complain, obviously, but it's the fact that men didn't really complain about their woman. They just took it on the chin. And so now, when we fast forward to the dynamic of 2020 up until now, the past 45 years, the pandemic created an opportunity for online engagement or relationship talk. And I believe 2020 shaped our whole future that we've just witnessed the past 45 years. And so here's the point. Back in the 90s, when a woman would hit a man physically, typically men don't respond like you just like, yo, you better stop hitting me, like chill, like you'll grab her arm, something like that, right?
Hmm.
never really fought a woman. Like that wasn't a common thing like it is today with the young generation. Like there, we were raised growing. I was born in the '80s, raised in the '90s. We were the generations that you never hit a woman, no matter what. So a lot of my friends, myself, and a lot of other guys at school, all throughout grade school, we didn't fight women. We just there was always an exception, but we didn't fight women. If a woman hit you in the face, punch you in the chest, they were just being emotional. They were getting mad, whatever it may be, and nobody ever did anything. We just took it on the chin. This is my analogy. They physically hit us and we took it on the chin and we just let it be, boom, boom, boom. And they emotionally hit us and we took it on the chin as whatever. You a deadbeat, you a dog, you a scrub, I mean, you name it, they called us it, right? And then 2020 hit and Kevin Samuels hit and the manosphere came about. And I'm not saying that it wasn't existing before then, but it really became prevalent 2020. And Kevin Samuels let the world, he set the culture on fire relationship wise, right? And now I realize what the difference is. Men are actually fighting back now. They're saying, okay, you want to call us deadbeats? Y'all deadbeat moms too. It ain't just deadbeat dads, it's deadbeat moms. Okay, you want to talk about men are too short? Well, y'all too fat. Y'all out of shape. You want to talk about a man not making enough money? Well, your sex is whack. I can get better sex from over here. Like now the men are hitting back, figuratively speaking, not physically, but figuratively
Mhm.
speaking, and they're now holding back, and they're telling women, "You don't bring nothing to the table. You trash. You this. You that." And the difference is, women can't handle it. They cannot take it. And I'm sitting back, I'm like, we took it on the chin for decades. For decades. Men had to listen to I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get enough. I mean, we had to listen. All my women who independent, throw your. I mean, we had to listen to. Can you pay my
Uh,
bills? Can you pay my telephone bill? I mean, seriously, we men have accepted so much emotionally and mentally, even physically, to the point where now, or the last 4 or 5 years, we just want women to listen to what we have to say about how we feel about y'all, and they can't handle it. And you had a quote in our offline conversation. You said, because this is profound. You said, us as men, we created a culture where women have been led to believe they are perfect because we never said otherwise. Jump on in wherever you want to. I know I said a lot.
nah, nah, you good. You said a whole lot of good stuff, brother. Um, and so yeah, we both come from the same background. Listen, this is the moment in time where we're having a conversation to push a movement of understanding, and that's it. We ain't here to belittle nobody. We far from women bashers. We don't do none of that. But we just want understanding, and we're just standing in the gap for men that have been suffering in silence. It's like they don't have a voice, but they do have a voice, but they can't like push that the movement or whatever the case may be. So I feel when it comes to influence, I feel like as men, we carry that gift better than anybody else. Whether it's family, you see it in the gang members, you see it in the positive and the negative, whatever you want to call it. That's the influence, that's the leadership, if you dare call it that. And so what we have done, like I said, over time, thank you for the quote, bro, is that we've conditioned women that they are perfect. They're the apple of the eye, all of that other good stuff. Think about it, starting at an early age as a little daughter, you got a little girl. What do most fathers do? They big up their daughter, bro. They big
Princess.
them as the princess. Yeah, bro, you can do no wrong. You ain't getting no whooping. None of that. Son, oh, fam, everything is your fault. You better stand up for your sister. You better do this. You better defend. You better protect. You better provide.
Don't cry.
Accountability. Oh, don't cry. Don't do none of that, man. Accountability has always been shifted towards us. Take it on the chin. But for the women, not so much. They've been gifted that princess pleasure for so long, of course, it's going to translate over to when they become 30, 40, and 50 and things like that. And for us men, same thing. That same attribute has contributed, it just went forth in our 30s, 40s, and 50s, but we just don't say anything. In the last 4 or 5 years, like you said, COVID, all of it pre-COVID, post-COVID, COVID or whatever, yeah, we lost a lot of people. It was devastation, but it was also a blessing in disguise because, like you said, social media, people started engaging a little bit more. Kevin Samuels, the Manosphere, all these other things like that. But most importantly, dudes took time out to heal. That was the movement right there. We've been getting on men's backs for years. Express yourself, open up, go seek therapy, go get healing, go get counseling, all these other things. Men, the last 4 or 5 years, men have actually went to go do that. So now, in the process of men getting healed, now we done develop healthy boundaries. We've developed standards. We've developed a healthy mentality, emotional intelligence. All black men ain't got no emotion. Yeah, we do. We develop emotional intelligence. And now that we are equipped for these things, now we're approaching women, we're approaching our wives, we're approaching sisters. Like, hey, we do not like this. We don't like that. Listen, you are a terrible wife in this aspect, and women cannot handle that right there. Like, that's the whole topic. If you go to your woman and tell her, like, listen, you terrible in this area right here. Yeah, we're gonna have the discussion. We're gonna, do our best to, communicate it to the best of our ability properly. But just that piece right there, they cannot handle that truth from a man because we just been quiet for so long, like you said, suffering in silence, and brothers aren't taking it anymore, and women cannot handle it. So yeah, we condition these things just like we condition so many other stuff, like the BBLs, and women can say all day long they do it for themselves. We condition that joint, bro. The stripping, the clothing, all that. We condition that, bro. Women
The
do
fact,
things.
real quick.
What's up?
When women say they do it for themselves,
Yeah.
it furthers exacerbates the point that women are some of the greatest liars on God's green earth because
Hmm.
they've lied so much that they believe themselves. Think about what I just said. Women have lied
Indeed.
so much that they've come to the point that they believe the stuff that they say, knowing there's no way you put on eyelashes for men. You're not getting BBLs for men. You're just not. But to your point,
You don't think so, bro?
they are. I'm sorry, for themselves. For
Yeah.
themselves. My
Okay.
bad.
Bet. Bet.
Yeah,
Bet.
my bad. For
Yeah.
themselves. Yeah, you. My bad. For themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now we flowing, bro. Yeah, that was it. I mean, it might be that way now, but I still don't think it is. But I promise you, all of that started because they were trying to appease the brothers because this is what Cass was looking at. Like, yo, she got it. Yeah. But anyways, we condition these things. We condition society. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword. We do have that power of influence, and so because we influence, we've created a culture of women thinking that they are perfect. Now we have to deal with this monster of a society of women like they can't handle this truth. And I feel like the more we continue to push this, I would say push a positive, safe space like this. This is a place of understanding. So when messages like this get out, it's like, so we ain't dogging nobody. But what we are doing is standing in the gap for men. We're standing in the gap for men, and we just need women to understand that we are human too. Yes, we are imperfect, but you know what? You guys are imperfect as well. You guys want a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage. We want a healthy marriage as well. You want freedom, you want peace, you want great sex, you want this, you want that. We want all of those things as well. And because we have boundaries and standards, and we have things that we want in life as well, I feel like I want to choose my words carefully. I feel like, yeah, we ought to do that.
Yeah.
We deserve that.
There's a component to this I want to add. The thing is, we're trying to tell our women, our wives, our sisters, mothers, etc., that listen, all of the complaining you've done about men, we're not saying all of it is wrong or all of it is false, because some of it is justifiable. you have been cheated on, you have been abused, you have been manipulated. Like nobody's removing the experiences that you've had. All we're trying to say is we had bad experiences with you. And the issue is we can accept when you talk about us, but you can't accept when we talk about you. And the issue, this is what I want to kind of introduce to kind of add to it, is oftentimes the average woman, they always have a justification for whatever their shortcomings is, but they never accept our justifications. And that's the problem for men because a woman would tell a man or tell her husband, you are you yell all the time, or you always talk to me disrespectfully, or whatever, something like that, right? And then he'll say, well, you disrespect me all the time. And she'll say, well, that's because you da 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 da. And it's like, wait a minute. So why can't I be justified in why I do what I do because of what you did? And I think now, keep in mind, I am a firm component in this. I'm a firm believer and teacher of self-accountability. Now, I understand that regardless of what I teach, people have their struggles. But I'm a firm believer that nobody make you do anything. You still make a choice, even if it's out of, even if it's out of cause and effect. But the point I'm making is if a woman says, I do this because you do A, B, and C, and then the man says, well, I do that because you do X, Y, and Z, the average woman will not accept the man's justification for why he does what he does, because she typically believes that it's because of him that she is the way she is, and his reaction to her is a byproduct of him and what he did to her. And it's like, is there any part of this equation to where you could
Mm.
be the problem? Is there any part of the equation of this whole dynamic where you could be part of the problem?
I can dig it. I was laughing on the inside because you know I was in a discussion and I was laughing at myself, man. I'm laughing now too, and I'm like, who told women that they wrote the book on communication? You feel me? Who told them that? Again, this ain't no bashing piece or nothing like that, but again, like who told you guys that y'all wrote the book on communication? It's I feel like and we've got the bad side of this for years about how we need to mature, we need to grow up, we need to search out, do some soul searching, develop emotional intelligence. Fam, emotional intelligence is for everybody, and I can promise you this: a lot of women do not develop, they do not mature faster than some men. I don't know who came up with that stat. I don't know who put that out there. I don't know who pushed that narrative, but it's not the case because I see a lot of immature women out here, even at the age of 40 and 50, still immature, and they don't have it like that. So accountability is a major component, major piece of being mature. A mature person can look at themselves. If you was to check me right now, they're like, yo, Chris, you messing up right here. You might get a little pushback depending on what it is. But I promise you, I'm gonna pause for a sec. I'm like, you know what? I am messing up in that area right there. Like, Chris, you slipping. Like, I might be like, yo, big bro, you tripping, man. Then I'm gonna pause. I'm like, you know what? He right. I can do better right there. There's a lot of women, they don't have that mentality of accountability because they don't have the accountability and they like to push their judgment off on somebody else. That shows a lack of maturity right there, man.
Yeah, because when men check out when if a woman right now said you are arrogant, we might disagree. We might disagree. We might not even believe you, but we're not going to just push back just for the sake of pushing back. Like we might be
Mm,
like, all right, why? Okay, cool. Well, why am I arrogant? Because you do that, and it's like, well, okay, I feel you, but I just don't see it that way. But if you were to tell a woman, hey, you're mean, or you are whatever, what you mean? Well, you're mean. How you gonna say I'm mean? So you're just not. So it's just impossible for you to be mean. Well, what you trying to say? I'm trying to say you mean. Then it goes into a whole soliloquy downhill of, well, what you trying to say? Da 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 da. And you, how you gonna call me mean when you the one that I? And all of a sudden, now it's
Mhm.
about you. It's like, how's it about me right now? I'm saying you.
Yeah,
When you called me arrogant, I just took it on the chin. And keep in mind, when
yeah.
people listen to this, I always want to preference this because we tend to make the conversation about the minority and not the average or the majority. The average man and the average woman, when you put these scenarios in place, the outcomes are going to be like this. The average woman cannot accept any type of correction or criticism without some level of extreme pushback. Whereas a man, well, he might push back, but it's in the sense of, yeah, whatever, I disagree. But the woman gonna fight. She gonna fight and fight and fight to prove that she ain't this. And it's like, well, how you going to minimize my experience with you? And then here comes the defense, and then you deflect. And it's like, why are you getting so defensive, or why are you getting so offended? You know what I mean? It's like men and women both get offended. And I'm not trying to create the dynamic of who gets offended more. But when we really get honest about average experiences, just the average experience between men and women in relationships, women are often way more offended than men and easier offended than men. That's just not even debatable.
Hmm. It's a fact, bro. Now, one thing is, I will admit this, bro. We can come off very extremely direct and extremely strict in our tone. There's one piece I do tell brothers. I'm like, listen, if you kind of smooth it over like some peanut butter, do that, but still speak your truth. But at the
Yeah,
same time, women do need to develop some thick skin. And this is why I say women did not write the book on communication. You just didn't do it. You want us to communicate like you. How about you communicate and understand like us? It goes both ways. Um, bro, I want to touch on this real quick because you said something. I'm the way when you was talking, I pictured a man and a woman just going back and forth or whatever the case may be in their bedroom. They're having a disagreement. Listen, marriages, engagements, your long time boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, your relationship, your partner is your reflection of you, flat out, period. Because like you said, I spend more time with you than anything. Not the church, not the people at your job, not the people at the bingo hall or whatever. I see you for you. So I'm your mirror reflection. So when a man speaks up and he's telling you about yourself, he's not lying. He ain't just pulling stuff out his behind just to like combat and go back and forth. He's letting you know, like, listen, I see you. I'm your mirror reflection, and vice versa. This goes both ways. So when your spouse is telling you something, when your partner, your mate is telling you something about you, listen up good. I know the people at the church, they bigging you up. The people at the job, they bigging you up. They high fiving you, putting you on that pedestal. When you come home and there's something going on, and your partner, your spouse, whatever, they tell you, like, listen, this is you X, Y, Z. I know the people at the they bigging you up. Now, I'm not to knock nobody down, but we bring in reality. This is your mirror reflection. You messing up in this department right here. Career wise, you dope, but as a wife, as a husband, you screwing up. I see you every day. That flat, hey, period, bro. Period.
yeah. You know, I'm gonna shift for a second because you
Was
made me
good.
you made me think of something. Because I was trying to highlight that the dynamics between a man and a woman, right? A woman can say what she thinks and feels about her man, and oftentimes he'll take it on the chin. He might give some pushback, but ultimately he'll hear it out, as opposed to a woman who will get defensive and offended, etc. And again, I'm not saying men never get offended, for the listeners, because you know how people are, Chris. I'm not saying men never, or there are zero men on the planet that get defensive or offended. But what I'm saying is, in relation to the average couple, oftentimes it is the woman getting offended and defensive more than the man, and more often than the man. That's proven. Now, you said something earlier about emotional intelligence. And you mentioned something earlier about the dynamic of the woman. I want to pivot real quick, not off subject, but a little detour.
Yeah,
Because
we good.
I was thinking about this. I have theories. I have a whole lot of theories from relational dynamics, right? I have a whole, because I have a school, so I teach relationship education. So when I come up with relational theories, I use them to create curriculum, right? The thing is, there's a lot of contradictions when it comes to women. And again, this is man talk. So for those that are listening, don't think we just bashing women. We are two men having a conversation about other men's and our experiences with women over the years. Okay, keep the conversation in context. We not women bashers, all right? But the thing is, as we speak on behalf of men to the best of our ability, a lot of women are very contradicting. We talk about emotional intelligence, meaning you are intelligent when it comes to your emotional wherewithal. But oftentimes, women don't have the emotional stability or emotional
Mm.
control to be intelligent in it. Because in order to be emotionally intelligent, there has to come with some level of emotional control or restraint. Now, follow me for a second. When women claim to be something as opposed to or more than a man, such as emotional intelligence, whatever, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their thoughts, opinions, views, right? But I want to talk real quick about a close similar dynamic, which is the strong woman, the woman who can lead, also the equality woman,
With the alpha female woman.
the alpha female.
Okay.
I don't know what the new culture term is, but the alpha female, the leader, the strong woman, right? It's just so much contradiction when it comes to this dynamic, because
Mm.
a woman will claim to be strong and claim to be independent until they need to be. Like, in the face of adversity relationally, where is your strength? Where does it go? So when we having an argument and I'm having a weak moment, why can't you be strong? Like, why can't you humble yourself and listen? Why can't you be the first to hear me out? Why do you gotta fuss me out? Like, you strong, you emotionally intelligent until you need to be. So why is it that you can claim the title and not actually deliver in action? Follow me for a second, because
Now I'm following, bro. You good.
this is something it's so vital, man. Because I think about this a lot. Because oftentimes a woman will claim, "I want a man that make a certain amount of money." Now, I'm not talking about the cliche of six figures, right? A woman might just say, "Hey, I want my man to make more money than me," or "I want my man to be the provider." But y'all strong. Why do we got to provide if y'all strong?
Hmm.
Why why is it that okay, follow me. Why is it that you can't submit to a man unless he's worth submitting to? Why can't you be strong enough to submit regardless of what he like? Why can't you
Nah,
just be strong? Ain't that
bro,
what being strong means?
you about to
I'm,
get us kicked off, man. Go keep
hey
going.
man, hey man, listen. Why is it that you can only be a soft girl if he does what he's supposed to do? Why is it that you can only stop yelling if he stop yelling? Why is it that you can only stop criticizing if he stop criticizing? Why is it that you can only be strong emotionally if he's strong emotionally? Why is it that you'll stop getting defensive when he stopped getting? Why is it that? Why can't you just to all my strong women? I'm just asking an honest question. This is no offense to you. I'm not trying to be controversial. This is a legitimate question. If our culture, if women are claiming to be strong and independent and this, and you equal, fine then. Be equal in holding my door open for me. Be equal in paying half the. Be equal in everything.
No, not the
Just be
Cheesecake
equal.
Factory, bro.
Just my because my thing is this, and I'm being more, to be honest, I'm being more funny with the open the door thing. I'm just jabbing a little bit, trying to be
Yeah,
funny. But what I am serious about is this: why is it that if you're so strong that your man can't be emotionally weak and you listen to him instead of getting defensive? Why does he have to do everything first in order for you to do it? Why does a man have to be A, B, and C for you to be X, Y, and Z? Why can't you be strong enough to be the thing even when your man can't be it? Like, why? Okay, your man might have an anger issue. Your man might have a self-esteem issue. Your man might have he might not be able to communicate well and things come off wrong. Why can't you be understanding and loving and patient enough to be able and be strong enough to be there, to be supportive, to be empathetic, to be sympathetic, even when he can't be in the moment? Why does it always have to be the man got to do it first? If if you are so strong and you want equality.
bro. Listen, they can't even accept the fact that it was Eve that messed up before it was Adam. But we gonna say that for a different topic, bro. Fam,
Yeah, that's another day.
yeah, that's another day, bro. Fam, again, it comes back to conditioning, big bro. It's conditioning, man. Conditioning all day long. This is what they've been born and bred into this thing, been raised up in this thing, bro. As far as this piece right here, where they can't, it, I don't know. We need to extend grace as men because we received it as well. I'm not sure we need to extend grace on their behalf because because it's blowing my mind too. Because if you are so strong, why can't you apologize first? Knowing you messed up, why do the men have to do everything first? But this is the society that we live in. Even still now, although we getting better, this the society that we live in. This is the culture that has been created. Men are supposed to do this first. Men are supposed to lead, and to them, that's their way of men leading. Although they messed up, you need to apologize first. And half the time, brothers didn't even do nothing wrong, but because you're the leader in this scenario, you need to apologize first. But let it be something else. Oh, they ain't trying to submit to that leadership. Like, we need to save $5,000. Oh, I ain't submitting to that. We need that five. We need to use $5,000 for X, Y. No, but this is what God is telling me. This is what God is telling me. This is where we need to go. Oh no, I ain't submitting to that. I don't like that type of leadership right there. These types of things go, and this is probably the contradiction piece, the contradiction piece that you're speaking on right here. Women, they flip flop back and forth, and it gets confusing at the end of the day. Listen, if things are just straight black and white when it comes to leadership, when it comes to submission, when it comes to apologizing first, if you did someone wrong, leave it at that. It's black and white. Instead of trying to paint all these different colors and all these different scenarios and this, that, and the third, no, ma'am. Don't do that right there. Bruh, it's the emotional intelligence piece, man. It's going to always come back to these emotional intelligence, the lack of it, and then just the conditioning overall. Women, it's a brainwashing method, and we gotta extend grace, but also continue to, turn that wheel until women come about. It's like, you know what, babe, I was wrong in this area, and that's it. At the end of the day, bro, I can't call it. It's tough. It's tough, man.
Listen, to man, you said some good stuff.
But real quick,
Yeah,
y'all
go ahead,
drop
go
in the
ahead.
chat. Yeah, y'all drop in the chat, man. Those of you that are listening, drop in the chat. Why do you feel? Why do, in your own personal opinion, why do you feel like women can't do something first? Can't apologize first? Can't take, can't take the truth first can't, whatever first. What we just got done discussing. Why do you feel like women can't do it first? If you guys are so strong, and this is just real talk. If you all are so strong, why you can't apologize first? What is that all about? Because I want to hear, I want to see people, I want to see people's opinion on this right here. Because we're just two people. Although we've had, conversations with other men, why you can't do it first if you are so strong?
Tell you, powerful question.
Yeah, bro.
Because the thing is that, and this is why I'm kind of relating this conversation to the equality thing, because as men, we're expected to lead until you don't want us to. And this is the powerful thing you brought up. You like my leadership when it's convenient. I have a teaching course that I call selective submission, and selective leadership, where men lead selectively and women submit selectively. And the issue with that is if you are a selective individual, then what that means is you're a controlling individual.
Mm,
And what it means is you're a manipulative individual, because when things don't go the way you desire it to, you're going to find a way to manipulate it to make sure you still get your way. So you're going to manipulate, you're going to well, no, gaslight is not the right term. You're going to, if you want me to open doors, for example, or if you want me to pay for dates because I'm the man, for example, I'm the head or the leader, then you say things like, well, you need to do what a man's supposed to do. You're
mm,
supposed to be the leader. Okay, cool. I'm a lead. Pay for the dates, whatever, whatever people might say is, you know, the leader thing. But then I do my other leader thing, like set a budget. Yeah, we're not spending $5,000 on that. We're gonna put that money here because we want to make sure we got this and make sure we got that.
mm,
Well, no, I disagree. You didn't disagree with my leadership when it came to paying that bill. You had no problem submitting when it came to me paying that bill that was $300 at dinner. You had no problem. It didn't even cross your mind to disagree. But when it comes to things of other importance, my leadership is now in question. And I think that's a piece that a lot of men, if they had the opportunity to voice their opinions about it and thoughts about it, they would speak a lot about that part, because they get beat down for if they don't lead properly in certain areas. But then if they lead in certain areas, they still get beat down because then they get called controlling or
mm.
misogynistic,
You're a dictator. Yeah,
a dictator, right?
yeah.
And so we're living in a culture to where I want women to understand a lot of men are finding it impossible in many different ways to make you happy and to please you and to be considered suitable husbands and men and fathers and leaders, because everything is just so day to day based on how I feel. And that's problematic in our culture when it comes to relationships. And I can hear people now, well, men are too. Well, we're not talking about the men. We're talking about y'all right now. And this is the exact
Mm,
problem. You thought that in your head at any point of this episode, this is the whole point. We cannot take an hour where we just focus on what men have an issue with. We just want 1 hour where you don't think about what about the man. That's all we want.
mm, mm. People don't stay in a place of just sitting and understanding, big bro. That's what it is, man. And this is all understanding. To your point, doubling back, a wise woman once told me, if a man can be trusted to pay bills, he should be trusted to lead as well. And I know that's going to sound crazy to some sisters again, but it's facts. And this came from a woman. And I appreciate her for saying something like that. If a man can be trusted to pay bills, to go out here and work, to go out here and provide, to go out here and slave away, to be away from home 8, 9, 10, 11 hours out the day, to be trusted for that, he should be trusted. to lead as well. So let's the selective piece is what's key right there, man. I ain't never heard that before. This you're selective, submissive, selective leadership, but also like you said, it's a controlling piece. Yeah, you can lead, you can go out there and work, make that money, honey, bring it on in. But don't you dare tell me like, oh, we can't spend this right here because whatever. I agree. Some men are finding it difficult. This is a uphill battle for them, and it's difficult. Again, they ain't suffering in silence, but I'm gonna just say they suffering because they all voicing it. But it just ain't no change. It ain't no change taking place on the women's behalf. So what is? I mean, I'm like you. I was born in the '90s. I mean, born in the '80s, raised in the '90s. So I seen the older generation how they shaped and molded the women. So I don't know if it's a lack of that that's taking place right now. I don't know if these are internet babies being raised or whatever, and they getting influenced negatively, by certain teachings or whatever. But I'm like, I can't call it, bro. Like, what in the heck is going on, man?
The funny thing is that when we talk about the women and man dynamic, husband and wife dynamic, however we want to shape it, um, men have taken criticism from women forever. Now that for the last 45 years, men are actually saying something now, and they got some criticisms, and it's like women can't handle it, right? And and you hear a lot of men talk about this too, because this is a big conversation. At least it was, at least for the last year or two, how men are saying, why can't our women be more like grandma was, right? In a sense of submissive, um, cook, clean, take care of the home, stuff like that. Now, and me and you can definitely agree to this, I'm sure. Times are very different now. We understand that can't no woman work full time, help out with the bills, come home, do all the cleaning, all the cooking, handle the
Yeah,
kid.
we ain't
Like,
asking that.
yeah, no, no, no. That just, and men, y'all, real quick, man, y'all need to understand that you're doing too much if you ask for all that. You can't ask for women to take care of the house and go 50-50 on bills and work. That's just crazy. But back to regular schedule programming. The reality is when men are saying we want wives to be like our grandmothers or like our mothers, a lot of people will push back and say, well, grandma ain't had no choice. Grandma was really a slave. She ain't had no money. She couldn't leave. Granddad was cheating. Okay, cool. We hear you. But when are we gonna talk about the fact that grandma had side men too?
They ain't ready for that one, man.
When are we gonna
They
talk
not ready for that.
about? I'm telling you. See, we have very selective conversations in our culture because
Okay, I'm about to call it outrage. Go
yeah,
ahead, though.
are we really going to believe that grandma won't cheating? Because I know for a fact grandmas back in the day was doing some stuff. Grandmas had side men. Grandmas was cheating, and then the other thing we don't want to talk about in our culture, all these bad men that are so-called no good men, are we going to forget that they were great men until they were cheated on at 16 and 15 and 14 and 17? So are we going to forget that a lot of these men were done wrong by girls in high school, and now the pain that these men are carrying stems back to getting heartbroken by a girl that they really, really loved and cared about?
Bro, can we talk about the amount of number of men who are raising kids who they think that are theirs and is actually not because sister such and such then went out there and got knocked up by homeboy across the bridge and she's coming back pregnant and my man thinking this is his kid that he's raising. These types of conversations aren't talked about, bro. Go
I
ahead,
have
man. Like you said, select. Go
I
ahead.
have I have I have not firsthand experience, but I have close people to me, really close people to me that have experienced that.
Mhm.
Men that have forfeited college to take care of a child right away that they got to go to work for. Forfeited football careers, basketball careers. That's a whole nother episode. That right
I'm
there is
down
a
with it.
real.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
real man. You hit that. That's
But
man.
these are the, These are the things that men deal with day in and day out, though. But it's not talked enough. It's not talked about enough, bro, because we're men and they are women treated like princesses. And like, how dare you bring up our dirty past? We better not do that. But it's the way of the world, big bro. And we got to call these things out. If we want a better society, better relationships, better marriages, better, a better community, these things have to be called out. And not only called out, we got to like actually look in the mirror and do something about it. And that's the piece, that's the frustrating piece about it, bro. No one that let me not say no one, I take that back. People, it's not enough people doing anything about it. Man, we've taken ownership. Y'all got on our cases for years. Go seek therapy. Man, his page is dedicated to black men in therapy all over the place. We doing the work. Now we waiting for y'all need to catch up now because y'all got a lot of work to do. Yeah, we get it. Adam, he should have did X, Y, and Z in the garden. But at the end of the day, when are we gonna hold Eve accountable for grabbing that apple? She got the same darn instructions as Adam, but she still grabbed that joint, listened to the serpent, grabbed that apple, and ate it. So it's like, bro, it's accountability on both pieces, man. Not to go too far off topic, but it's just frustrating at the end of the day because we say we want better. Hey, all that starts with change, man.
The truth is, let's dive into the Adam and Eve thing for a second.
All right, go ahead, bro.
When I got set up for this one.
All right, man. Don't hurt them, down.
I'm gonna try to take my time with this one. The Adam and Eve thing is a phenomenon that is very vital to us understanding the dynamics between men and women. Let's just frame it. While Adam was working, taking care of the garden and his family, his wife cheated on him.
Mm, mm,
Let's just put the framework where it needs to be. This is where the idea of emotional cheating exists. This is this right here to where another idea, another person's mind infiltrated you and you disrupted the entire family from a thought process. Because had you not entertained another mindset or another idea or another person, you don't bring me fruit that I don't supposed to eat.
mm,
You don't even present to me something I shouldn't have, which means you didn't safeguard me. You're supposed to be my rib. You didn't protect me. Because this is what people are going to say. Well, Adam was right there. No, he wasn't. The Hebrew language suggests that with her or with him really means in the area. Now, in the area can mean anything. If right now, is your wife home right now?
yeah, she buzzing around, bro. She ain't in the office space, but she here though.
Right. So I might be like, yo, Chris is with his wife right now.
Mm,
But can you see what she's doing?
nah,
Exactly. This
that's
is the
good.
same.
That's good.
This is what happened with Adam and Eve. Why would the Bible say in the New Testament that Adam was not deceived? Meaning he was not the one tricked. He wasn't tricked. So the real question is, if he wasn't tricked by Satan, who is he tricked by? See, now that's a whole nother conversation because I
Yeah,
don't
that's
want
good, yo.
I don't want to disrupt people's theology because this is before the fall and you can't be sinful before the fall, and I don't want to disrupt
Yeah,
people's theology. We're gonna say that for another episode. I'm just
that
giving the
was
tip.
good, bro.
I'm just
That
giving
was
the tip.
good. That was
But
good.
here's the thing: she gave him fruit, regardless of what Adam did first. And this is the point I'm making. Regardless of what Adam did, first and foremost, she gave her husband something that she and him was never supposed to have because her mind was changed because she flirted with the devil. So, so you mean to tell me that all somebody got to do is get into your head? That's all they got to do, and you'll disrupt our whole vision.
Mm.
So what we have isn't enough. You want more? You got the whole world.
Listen,
People
bro.
have,
That
People
them,
like,
them,
yo,
them.
can I get
Oh,
a
go ahead,
dog?
go ahead.
Can I get
Yeah,
a dog? I want a dog. Can we get a? She had a horse, a tiger, a lion. She had everything. You want
everything,
more? You want more?
everything. You making 100 mil? Oh no, no, no. I need 200 mil.
You
I
want
need more.
more? More? And that right there, and I'm just three dots behind the Adam and Eve thing. We will say that for another day. But
Yes, sir.
that's at the heart of a lot of men's pain too. They the wanting more is plaguing a lot of our good men because women don't know how to be content because because Eve shows us the dynamic of a woman that when she is presented with something new, she's going to want it 9 times out of 10. And the issue is if you can't be content or happy with what you have without being tested and tempted with something new, and now you don't know how to be content unless you have the new, we got a really big problem in our culture.
It's gonna always be a fall.
Always. He wasn't ambitious enough. He didn't have enough goals. He didn't have enough dreams. Why didn't he want more? You're so boring.
Mm,
We tear down
sounds
good
like a
men.
good man. Ah,
We're
that's
tearing
it,
down
bro.
good.
So
We're tearing down good men for what? Because you want more,
yeah, because
more.
of what you seen on TikTok, bro.
This is crazy.
It is wild, man. But this is reality, though, man. So we got to check ourselves. Real talk. What we got? What else we got, man? Because listen, bro.
Listen, we about
Bro.
to wrap this up. We about to wrap this up. Listen, did you have anything you want to add to that?
Oh, I thought we had some more, man. Nah, nah. I mean, I'm cool, but nah, I can flow with this all night long, bro.
Yeah, let me get into this part, right? Because this is let's talk about the pathway forward, right? The
Okay.
pathway forward. The dynamics we have now between our men and our women, our husbands and our wives, and our culture, even in the dating world amongst the single people. I think me and you both have a heart for people to understand this conversation is just a small microcosm of what we want the world to begin to talk about from a healthy place of actually, to your point, you always say this, and this is why I love to hear you speak. Whenever you speak, as long as I've known you, and that's been what, like 3-4 years now, maybe 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
now,
We have
right?
4 years. Yep. 4, 5. Yep.
You always said we got to sit down and listen to each other. Like that's been a
Yeah.
staple with you. And I believe the issue is men just are not heard. And the solution has to be, ladies, we know you say you want us to be vulnerable and you want us to be, and we're speaking on behalf of men. You want us to be vulnerable. You want us to listen. You want us to be all this. But when we actually get honest with you, you cannot tear us down and you cannot flip it and become a victim because that's where it goes left. We need to hear each other out.
Big bro. It sounds good, and this is the challenge for our community, man. It sounds good to say black man go to therapy. It sounds good to say black man I'm proud of you. It sounds good to say men talk. It sounds good, listen. These things sound good, but nothing changes unless something changes. So we got the feel good piece out the way. Now can we, like you said, can we sit down and just listen to one another? Men have been listening to women for years, decades. Now we to the point where it's like, women, can y'all please listen to us? Cass is literally begging, please listen to us, because men do have a lot to add to society, a lot of great things to add to society. But we at a crossroad now, where if women don't take that position of listening, not just listening but understanding, and then from understanding actually applying, we're just going to keep, it's just going to be this dynamic of going back and forth. Everything that we see all day long, social media, out in the world, combating this, just bumping heads, bumping knuckles all day long, man, butting heads, man. We're going to continue to see that because men on going back to the 90s and 80s and 70s as far as like taking it on the chin. I can tell you right now, cats got their feet dug in the sand and they here to stay. They love their boundaries, healthy boundaries. They love the standards that they created. They like being in a place of healing. So women, you got to meet the men halfway and understand, brothers, when when we're speaking, when we're talking, when we're venting. Don't tell us to vent and get things off our chest because it's popular, it's a trend, or it sounds good. No, let us vent because we need that healing space. And you guys need to know what's on our minds as well. Don't say you're not a mind reader. And then when we actually express what's on our mind, you double back and be like, oh, that's too much. It's like, no, you asked for this. And now that we're here now. So paying it forward, man, listen, listen all day long and understand. And once you understand, start applying these things so we can have a better society, man. It's it. Simple steps. Listen, understand, and apply. We good after that.
Hey, man, that's it right there. That's powerful. I don't even want to say nothing after that. That's it. That's that because what you just said lets us know what needs to be done on behalf of men so men can be heard, so men can be understood. And that's all we want people to do. We want our ladies to just simply take away from this and say, you know what? Let me take the first step and let me listen. Just let me listen without being defensive, without deflecting. Let me just listen. Let me just listen. So, listen, I know we might have to come back for a part two, man. This conversation has been powerful. It's so much we could say, so many angles we could go. Um, but listen, we're gonna wrap it up right here. But this conversation has been amazing, man. Anything on your mind about this topic that you want to also add in there that you might not want to let go?
Hold on real quick, big bro. Hold on. I took some notes now. Let me see if I got everything since this is a safe space. Let me make sure I got everything off my chest.
Yeah.
Uh
Because while you're looking for that, I
yeah.
want to say this, right? We want men to be able to get back to a place where they're not afraid of getting married anymore.
Mm,
Because we're in a space now where see, here's the ladies, hear me out, hear me out. You want to be married, and your actions and behavior is pushing men away from wanting to get married. So you're hurting yourself. And so we want to see men get back to a place where they're not afraid of marriage. They're not afraid of you divorcing them because they don't make enough money anymore or because they unhappy. Like you know how scary it is for a man to commit his whole self to a woman and then she leave him because she not happy. I mean, he can't make you happy every day of the week. I mean, he can't be a billionaire. Everybody can't be a billionaire. Everybody can't be a millionaire. Like
mm,
it's just one of them things where it's like there are I don't want to say regular. There are normal, everyday people in this world who are great and they make 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. And y'all just got to put y'all checks together and y'all got to go down to Six Flags together, have fun, take a trip once a year because that's all you can afford. You're going to eat oodles and noodles, but you're going to be loving each other and you're going to be celebrating each other. Why? Because it's not about the aesthetics. As Coach Chris said, get off social media and stop being persuaded with all of the stuff that look good and like get back to the heart of what relationship and marriage is: companionship,
bro.
loyalty, love, honesty, communication, appreciation, gratitude, thankfulness, like celebration. Just yeah, I'm done.
My man, I want to make sure, bro, because I cut you off last time. I say, my bad,
No,
my
no, no,
man
you
still
good. I'm
going.
done. I'm done.
Oh, bro, all I heard, bro, was comparison is the thief of joy, man.
Mm, that's
Oh,
it.
bro, stay off social media, man. Stop comparing your life, your relationship to other people, bro. Y'all got something great at the crib, but because you focused on what the Joneses got going on, you can't even be focused and be in the moment and be present and build. Stop comparing yourselves, man. Y'all got something good going on. So what I got left, big bro, I wanted to touch on this. We did, offline, we spoke a little bit about it, but we listen, we done talked about the women enough. Listen to my brothers. First and foremost, I'm an advocate for men's mental health. First and foremost, man. Brothers, continue. If you're not doing it, please develop healthy habits, whether that's eating correctly, putting yourself through healthy adversity, like going to the gym and lifting weights, getting your body right, getting your mental right, being around great men, good brothers, man, that you can like learn and grow from. Iron sharpens iron. Get around some good men. Get around a good circle that's going to help you, not to say that you're not a great man now, but get around some great men that's going to help you become greater. Get around a good circle. Just develop those healthy habits, man. When we as men, as long as we got healthy habits, bro, we pour that out into our families. We pour that out into our communities. And when we're good and when we're straight, when we're well rested, when we're healthy, when we're happy by developing healthy habits, bro, everybody benefits from the end of the day. Everybody benefits from our women, our kids, our community, everybody, our jobs, our careers, all of this stuff, bro. When we're in a great space, everything else around us flourishes, man. So to my brothers, I just want to charge y'all with that. Please develop healthy habits. It can be reading a book 5 pages a day. It can be going to bed on time, getting you 8 hours of sleep, if possible, 7, 8 hours of sleep. Have those healthy habits, man. I want to see my brothers healthy and thriving in life, man. Not just surviving, but I want us to thrive, man. And all that takes place by having healthy habits, bro.
Amen. Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. Well, let's close this song out, man, because we could go on for hours and hours. But we want to save some of this for future episodes. But listen, I want to get into our part 4, our scenarios. What would you do? Now, before we do that, if y'all got any questions for any of us, leave those questions in the comments. Hit us up wherever you can find us. Leave your responses, leave your questions, all the above in regards to the episode today. But let's get into the what would you do scenario. What would you do? All right, clear your mind, Chris. Clear your mind. There is no wrong answer. There's no right answer. It's only fun answers. All right. Now, what would you do? Your significant other accidentally texts you their exit strategy for leaving the relationship, but claims it's a writing exercise. Would you believe them, and what would you do?
Oh, bro, that's crazy, man.
All right, I'm gonna ask you one more
Ooh,
time. Your
say,
significant other accidentally texts you their exit strategy for leaving the relationship, but claims it's a writing exercise. What would you do? And would you believe them?
that's crazy, bro. Now I heard you clear the first time, man. I just had to, I had to take a deep breath real quick, man. So you know what I would do, bro? I would quote unquote believe her. I would ask, I would believe her. But at the same time, I'm gonna probably have me a backup plan too. It's just a scenario, right? All right. Fun answers, right? I'm gonna
Funny.
have me. I'm gonna have me a backup plan too, just to be on the safe side. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get you before you get me, man. I'm like, I'm looking at this. I'm like, what teacher, what writing assignment, what's going on with this? And listen, if it don't check out, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna play it smooth. I'm gonna play it off. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go along with the flow. But at the same time, I'm gonna be plotting and planning too, bro. You ain't about to
Yeah.
get me, man. You ain't about to
And
get me caught up.
listen, here's what I would do. I'm gonna pack your bags for you, and I'm gonna make you exit earlier. Okay. You got an early exit strategy. I got an earlier exit strategy for
Yeah.
you. I'm gonna help you pack. I'm gonna help you find somewhere to go. All I got, listen, you ain't listen. I don't believe nothing you talking about. Don't
Uh,
nobody write no exit strategy. You was about to send that to your friend. That's what you was about to send it to him. Forgot you was in my
close
crib.
home girl. Yeah, yo. Oh man, bruh, that's wild right there, man. You say you about to kick Motel 8 it is. You about to get out of here
Hey,
earlier.
Motel 6, Motel 8, Motel 4. She got to
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Oh snap. What I said Motel, it ain't no Motel 8. It's a Motel 8, ain't it? Was it
Hey,
Motel 6?
I
It don't
think it's
even matter.
Motel 6. I think it's an 8
I
too.
can't remember, bro. I thought it was an 8, but it's all good. As long hey,
Oh
it's one of
no,
the
I never
motels. Yeah, it
seen
don't even
it.
matter. But you gotta get up out of here though.
You got
Yeah.
to go. In Motel 8, Motel 6, Motel 4, you got to go. It don't.
Now, no, that was a crazy scenario. Now, I'm like, dang, what's they gonna look like? I'm like, I could see myself just plotting and planning myself, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get you before you get me, man.
Yeah, yeah. But listen, man, Chris, I love you. I appreciate you. You know, it's always a fun time when we come together, man. Let everybody know where they can find you, your social medias, where they can book you, your website. Let everybody know everything about where they can find you and everything.
Oh yeah, man, big bro. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Much gratitude for having a brother on just to jaw jack and lay it down for the brothers one good time, man. We'll lay it down for the community one good time, man. We here for the people. Um, you all can find me at on Facebook, Christopher Henson. Same thing with LinkedIn, same thing, Christopher Henson, IG, life coach underscore Chris. And you guys can email me at created to influence at gmail.com. And if you want to book, man, if you just want to chop it up, if you want to chat, man, I'm available to the people, whether it's men, whether it's women, whether it's the youth. Man, I got y'all, man. If y'all need to vent, talk, or whatever, man, that's what God created me for. Man, I am a vessel just here to build up his community, man. So I got y'all, man. So yes, check me out. Facebook, Christopher Henson, LinkedIn, Christopher Henson, IG, life coach underscore Chris, and the email is created to influence at gmail.com.
Hey man, make sure y'all go check him out. Make sure y'all check him out. Listen, man, all this content is so inspiring, encouraging, uplifting. Fellas, make sure you go check it out. If you want to find us at Forever Love, you can find us everywhere at TRY, the number 4 Ever Love. That's Try Forever Love. If you want to get booking, if you want to book us, go to tryforeverlove.com. If you need counseling, coaching, singles, dating, coaching, counseling, whatever, we do it all. Go to tryforeverlove.com. And and also, if you want relationship education, go to trm-u.com, trm-u.com. But tryforeverlove.com is where you can find us everywhere. Anything you need, relationship-wise, dating-wise, marriage-wise. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see y'all next episode. Watch how we flipping it. Watch how we living it. Watch how we winning it. Watch. Yeah. Watch. Yeah. Watch. Yeah. Watch.